Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Poppin' What's Cracking. It's D. About to react to this vid by Honest. It's titled Little Mix After the Breakup. Okay, we're gonna see what's going on with them after, they parted ways. I remember reacting to them on my Patreon quite a bit. So I am interested in seeing, what they're up to and what's going on. So let's watch.
In my opinion, Little Mix was the best girl group of the 2010s. They were more collaborative than the Pussycat Dolls, more uniform than Fifth Harmony, and better singers than Blackpink.
Oh, damn.
They are often overlooked because they didn't receive
what they up to?
Breakthrough, but ultimately the talent and consistency was undeniably there. Formed by fellow girl grouper Kelly Rowland in 2011, Little Mix went on to become the first group to win the X Factor, and ultimately the show's most successful winning act. Perrie, Jade, Leanne, and Jessie carried the spirit of their girl group predecessors, such as the Spice Girls, TLC, and Destiny's Child, but brought a 2010s modernity to their image and music.
Oh, Jessie was cute.
Out of all the pop boy and girl groups from the 2010s, Little Mix deserved the same exact push fellow cycle music groups Fifth Harmony and One Direction received globally. But make no mistake, Little Mix is still a very accomplished
What the
group.
fuck is what's her face doing? This just reminded me. Normani ain't gave no visuals for her album. Like, girl, do you even care? Does your team even care? We ain't got no music video or nothing, child.
Simon Cowell called them the hardest working group he's ever worked with, even though they left Simon's label in 2018, seemingly on not so smooth terms after a business dispute. But they stayed together and cumulatively stayed together for over a decade, which is a lifetime for any group. Yet alone a teenage group formed on a reality TV singing show. Ultimately, Little Mix's relationship transcended music as well. They spent a ton of time together, both creatively and personally, and they formed a true sisterhood. A sisterhood that remained relatively intact with the exception of tension with the first one to exit the group, Jessie Nelson. Even after Jessie's departure in 2020, the group continued on as a trio. And in late 2021, they announced that they would be going on hiatus to recharge, as well as pursue solo endeavors. It would take nearly 2 years before every Little Mix member debuted as a solo artist, but they are now all out into the world as individuals. Breaking away from a group, especially one that has amassed such a big amount of fame and a major following, can be tough. Some artists will never outsize their beloved groups. Some actually complement a group better and fit better within the context of a group. Others just don't have the tact or drive to be a solo artist, and that's okay.
Don't have that star power.
Not everyone is meant to be a Diana Ross, Beyonce, or Michael Jackson. Sometimes a group is TLC, just better together. Little Mix are all very individually talented women with marketability, so if anything, they were primed for solo success. But regardless of commercial success, I think the most interesting thing is the niche or style that groups break into when they become solo artists, and how they will either grow and extend with their fan bases or abandon their fan bases altogether.
Can I see the visuals?
And by the way, the Mixers are a very big and loyal fan base.
It's just getting bigger and bigger.
Whenever I speak of one of the girls or the girls collectively, they come out in drones, and honestly, their fan base really reminds me of what Directioners used to be. You can't have a career that stretches for over a decade without a loyal fan base, and Little Mix certainly has a fan base that would engage with their solo works to a high degree. The ladies have all gone their separate ways, and some have panned out better than others. But we're going to talk about the music, the direction, and maybe what we like to see going forward. As we all know, Jessie was the first to leave the group, but the strain was more severe than the public ever realized. Their producer, Trey Jean Marie, recently revealed that all of Jessie's background vocals on their final single as a four, No Time for Tears, had to be recorded by an impersonator. She was quite literally over it, he said. She left the group due to mental struggles and not liking the pressure that came with being in a girl group. In 2021, she made her debut alongside Nicki Minaj with her song Boys. The song reached a high peak in the UK, likely thanks to Minaj, but failed to maintain a success in the weeks to come. Boys was a PR nightmare, sparking conversations about race, appropriation, and Jessie's excessive tan. Something that was allegedly addressed behind the scenes by fellow Little Mix members beforehand, but fell on deaf ears. Jessie ultimately deflected the criticism by brushing it off as saying she was being bullied again. After alleged leaked DMs circulated, the conversation got more smothering. It completely imploded once Minaj went off on other Little Mix women, particularly Leanne, a black woman, and the conversation was about appropriation. You do not want to be seen beefing or having immense tension with your former bandmates on your debut single. It does not go over well for fans, especially fans of a group that was all about unity. Jessie's promotional performance at the Jingle Ball in 2021 also became a very widely memed performance due to her less than stellar enunciation. In 2024, the song is aged even worse due to its Diddy association, in lieu of his various misconduct lawsuits, allegations, and ultimately the video proof of him beating a woman. At the core of it all, Boys isn't a terrible song. It's not a great song either. I just don't see why it screams debut single to literally anyone. After rumors of her album being scrapped, she parted ways with Polydor Records, seemingly as fast as she partnered with them. Jessie's second single goes over much better, titled Bad Thing. The song and its music video tackles the complexities of abusive relationships. It's a lush Bond meets Billy meets Lana ballad, and it is a complete 180 from her debut single, far more substantive and compelling.
I'm dissing
Perrie is renowned for her powerhouse voice, and she was also the baby of the group, given that she is the youngest, which initially made her more reluctant to take initiative when it came to things like songwriting for her solo career. I sat down with my label at the start and I was like, guys, I don't want to write anything. I just want to be sent songs. I just want to sing them, which is very commendable. A lot of artists would rather lie or scheme their way into a writing credit instead of admitting that they didn't write a song. To clarify though, the Little Mix members wrote many songs together for themselves and for others. Perrie was just intimidated to do it alone until her label convinced her to do some sessions with friends, and she became more comfortable with putting down her own lyrical and concept ideas. Her debut single, Forget About Us, released in 2024, was written by Perrie and Ed Sheeran. The song became a top 10 hit in the UK. Musically, it's very 2016 Ed Sheeran-esque, extremely polished pop. You either love it or you hate it. Personally, I think her second single, Tears, is a much stronger effort musically and personality-wise. I think Perrie resonates stronger in that song. It's 80s disco, but it's more in line with the 80s R&B dance music of that time period. It's sophisticated and the hook is sticky. 80s Prestige is a bit worn and torn, but I think she breathes some goodness into it. I could definitely imagine Perrie going down the dance pop route that leads into the more R&B side of things, and she certainly has the vocals for it. Leanne made her debut in 2023 with Don't Say Love, and she's the first Little Mix member to release a full project with her EP No Hard Feelings. Don't Say Love is very 2000s UK garage, and it's a cute song. Definitely a number I could have imagined prime Britney or Christina performing. Her second single, My Love, featuring Ira Star, is an Afrobeats tinged song with some elements reminding me of prime Rihanna. I think both songs are solid, and Leanne has a clear niche that she can occupy. She keeps it fun, danceable, and confident. I think she manages to carry some of that Little Mix juice over into her solo work, but makes it more mature. Jade was the last member to debut. What's been consistent with Jade is that she loves divas. She cites Diana Ross as a major influence. She auditioned on The X Factor with a Whitney song. She is also a big fan of drag culture, and it shows in her debut. Perhaps the most unexpected of all the girls, it is over the top, it is camp, it's a mixture of various different elements. Even if it's not your forte, it is a very bold move for a debut song. She does not play it safe. The song goes so many places within its runtime. There's 2000s electro-pop influence, 80s power pop, and dramatic balladry with a title squeezed into a beautiful hook that sounds like it was engineered to get stuck in your head.
Honestly, she's the most forgettable for me. As far as who I remember, she is the one that I remember the least. So I think it was really smart to do something so bold and dramatic.
The song doesn't only hold interest in its sonic ambition, it has several layers. The song samples Puppet on a String by Sandy Shaw, a song about being a puppet for your object of desire. She ties in this lyrically by talking about her rise in the music industry and the restrictions that she was under. She keeps it playful and ambiguous on the lyrical side though, to where it could even be interpreted as a romance gone wrong song. She even seemingly takes a jab at her past label and label head, saying, selling my soul to a psycho, they say I'm so lucky. For those of you that don't know, Little Mix was signed to Psycho Music, Simon Cowell's label. The music video takes it a step further. It's a surreal, bizarre, and camp retelling of her time in her earlier years. The song and video to me is what a debut moment in song is all about. And what I mean by that is that it checks all the boxes. Number one, it tells something personable to Jade. It allows her pre-existing fan base to grow and mature with her, while allowing new listeners into her world and story. Number two is it is transformative. It doesn't sound like Little Mix or an extension of the Little Mix world. Number three is the effort. You can tell by the music video that she has something to say and wanted to tell a story. She wasn't just fulfilling a contract. And that type of charisma can get you far. She ultimately just comes across more self-assured as a solo artist. Now, that doesn't mean that I think the song is perfect. It is a good song, but I do think it is a bit too busy at times. I think she did a great job of making the ambition clear, and it could serve as a great reference point for the rest of her work and how she continues to develop. Thematically, it also kind of reminds me of Gwen Stefani's What You Waiting For, a song and video that's also very camp and telling the story and struggle of stepping into a solo light, which all of these women have now done.
Very interesting. I didn't know about what any of these ladies were doing, aside from Jessie, just because it was so cringy. That boy song and then that performance when she had on that red. Oh my God, I react to all that. And I remember being so just grossed out by it all. But yeah, I wish them the best. I thought they were a really cute group and I thought they had a good thing going. So it's unfortunate they had to break up, but you know, it is what it is. Now they got to spread their wings and fly, and we'll see who, you know, makes it because not everybody does, you know. But yeah, interesting. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Let me know what other videos you want to watch, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.